Look, if you're a young guy just getting out there in the dating world, it is wild right now. Navigating all the conflicting advice out there can feel incredibly overwhelming. So today, I'm sitting down with you, speaking as a mentor to his younger self, to decode the actual, real secret to making an unforgettable first impression. In this explainer, we're going to break down the psychology of what really matters, starting right now. So let's just start right here with a really simple but brutally honest question. When you walk through a door into a room, what is the absolute first thing you think women notice about you? I mean, seriously, take a second. Think about it. If you're like most young guys, I guarantee you've got a checklist running through your head right now. And honestly, I bet I know exactly what's on it. Right off the bat, we need to tune out all that online noise. You know the stuff. The internet screaming that you've got to be completely loaded, perfectly ripped, draped head to toe in expensive designer gear, or just totally obsessed with your social status to even get a second glance. Man, it is an exhausting checklist, isn't it? Trying to keep up with all that is a surefire way to burn out before you even say hello. But here is the actual truth. None of those are the answer. What if the very first thing women notice isn't any of those tangible, superficial things at all? What if it's something completely different? Here's the real secret. Women instantly pick up on your presence. Now, what is that? Presence is just that magnetic confidence you naturally carry when you're genuinely comfortable in your own skin. It's the way you hold yourself and the exact vibe you put out the second you step into a room. Think about it. We've all seen that totally average-looking guy who just commands the room, right? Why? Presence. On the flip side, you can have a ridiculously good-looking dude who completely blends into the wallpaper because he just lacks it. I want this to really sink in. Presence speaks way before your mouth ever does. Long before you open your mouth to say hi, or introduce yourself, or nervously stammer through some rehearsed opening line, your energy has already introduced you. You are constantly broadcasting exactly who you are, how secure you feel, and your level of self-respect. And you're doing it all without making a single sound. For a young guy just trying to figure out the dating scene, realizing this is literally a superpower. Now, the good news is you don't have to be born with this. You can actually actively build it right now with a few very practical mechanics. Let's break it down. Step 1. Fix the posture. Pull your shoulders back and actually claim your space. Stand tall. Step 2. Lock in calm, non-threatening eye contact. We're talking a relaxed, inviting gaze here, okay? Not some intense, unblinking stare that makes people want to slowly back away. And step 3. Deliberately slow down your speech. Rushing your words? That just screams panic. Speaking slowly tells people that what you have to say is actually worth waiting for. Because look at the flip side. Your unintentional body language, it acts like a giant megaphone for your insecurities. If you're constantly staring down at your shoes, actively dodging eye contact, or aggressively fidgeting with your phone like it's a life raft, you are unintentionally shouting to the entire room that you feel completely uncertain. Your body language tells your story before your words ever get a chance to. And you really, really want to make sure it's telling a story of quiet, grounded confidence. Which brings us to something I like to call the waiters and strangers rule. When you're out on a date, she isn't just watching how you treat her. Let's be real, anyone can fake charm when they want something. She is watching how you treat everyday people around you. Are you actually polite to the waiter? Do you treat that random stranger who bumps into you on the way to the table with respect? Your true character and your emotional stability, it all gets put on full display in these totally unscripted everyday moments. And here's why that matters. Calmness signals emotional strength. Picture this. The restaurant loses your reservation. Or worse, you accidentally knock over a full glass of red wine onto a crisp white tablecloth. It's absolute chaos, right? Now, the gut reaction for a lot of guys is to just panic. They get flustered, they snap at the staff, or they get super awkward and over-apologetic. But when you don't panic, when you just smile, keep your cool, and handle the mess without losing your grip, man, that calmness instantly signals a really deep, highly attractive emotional strength. It shows her you're an anchor, not just a leaf blowing in the wind. Let's actually contrast two different mindsets that completely dictate your energy in these moments. First up is the exhausting hustle of seeking validation. You know the vibe. Feeling this desperate need to prove yourself, bragging about your wins, or trying to nervously compete with every other guy in the room. Honestly, it just creates this tense, repellent energy. Now, contrast that with true self-assurance. That's the quiet, magnetic pull of internal confidence. It's just knowing who you are and actually feeling secure in that. Self-assurance builds immediate trust. Seeking validation, it just makes everything incredibly awkward. And that desperate need for validation leads straight into a massive pitfall for young guys. I call it the performance trap. So many guys step out into the dating world and immediately start memorizing these terrible pickup lines, or they mimic some internet alpha influencer, basically creating this totally fake personality they think women want. But here is the ultimate secret. Women have an unbelievably fine-tuned radar for this kind of fake performance. The very second they sense you're acting out a script instead of just being a real human being, boom, any potential attraction is instantly gone. Because acting like someone you're not, it just pumps the air full of this awkward, uncomfortable tension. Performance is putting on a mask. Authenticity is having the guts to drop the mask entirely. Absolute authenticity, just having the courage to be yourself, flaws, quirks, the whole shebang without needing to put on a show is infinitely more powerful. I'm telling you, there is something profoundly magnetic about a man who just doesn't need to hide behind a fabricated persona to feel worthy of being in the room. So how do we actually build this? How do you get this true presence? Well, you've got to shift your focus inward. Start by just listening more than you talk. Seriously. And stop caring so much about what everyone else in the room thinks of you. You've got to let go of that desperate need for universal validation. Most importantly, pour your energy into your own purpose and your own personal growth. The more grounded and comfortable you are with the guy you are behind closed doors, the stronger and more natural your presence is going to be out in public. I'm going to leave you with this final, really powerful thought from today's explainer. Long before a woman knows what a man owns, she notices who he is. Presence isn't something you can just put on a credit card, and it definitely isn't something you can fake. It is a genuine, real-time reflection of your inner emotional stability and your character. So speaking to you right now as a mentor, I want you to ask yourself a serious question as we wrap this up. If presence is the truest reflection of who you are, what exactly is your presence saying about you right now?